Another video. Do you think that going to court and threatening eviction is going to make things any better? Because it doesn't really, does it? And your first email telling me I've got to the 19th and then I have to move on out on the 23rd of July. A little bit sort of short space of time to consider anything, I think. The other thing is that I haven't done anything wrong. I didn't do anything against you. The only thing I did is follow the advice of the solicitor, and I didn't even want to do that. I did try to tell you I didn't want to do that, but you had already threatened me with eviction before I even went to see the solicitor. And I never thought it would end like this. But Paul, what you said on the step, well, it has. And it's none of my doing. It was your doing, not mine. You knew. You didn't listen to what I wanted to say. You told me it was a terribly, terribly, terribly bad idea, remember? You walked away and left me with no income. You were the one that abandoned me here to go off with your new love of your life, Debbie. I was left here, frightened, in grief, for to start with. Besides, I still loved you. I was still caring for you and in love with you. And you betrayed that. You betrayed my trust. You wouldn't even help when I asked. You didn't have the money, that's what you told me. I don't know if that's a lie, whether it was true or not. You had spoken to your solicitor, your mind, you made the decisions, not me. I was looking at how can I move forward, how can I do something, how can I protect myself, how can I remain here in somewhere that I like, have friends around us, not be pushed out, not be thinking, oh my God, where am I going to go, how am I going to do this, where's the money going to come from, all of this, because I had an idea that I could be here for a while, because I was prepared for the house to sell and get the money. I mean, I looked at the houses. I even asked you to come and help us to look at 2 places. Unfortunately, the one that was in San Isidro had been put a deposit down by Mike and Janet, the people whose house you first wanted to buy. And they told us that they lost that property shortly afterwards, and obviously that was a property that I could have perhaps, as a long shot, been, looked at and maybe purchased, but, I don't think this would ever have worked, to be honest. I think you had in your mind something, I don't know what it was, but as soon as you knew the situation, it was all changed. It's like I did one thing to protect myself, because I know what you said to us, I rush headlong into making decisions, or I'm always on the porch of indecision. Well, you see, the thing is, you can't be both. Yes, I do have ideas. Yes, I have these ideas, and sometimes I'll think, yeah, that's a good idea, and I'll go forward and I'll take an action. And yes, I do take action really quickly, but that's because that's me. Some ideas I won't take action on, but that's because when I've thought about it, I'm like, no, I'm not really sure if I should take action on that idea, right? So when I was in a space of grief, shock, fear, anxiety, and my idea came up and think, oh, maybe then if I put a GoFund page together, maybe then I can launch this GoFund page. But obviously what I'd written might have been offensive to you. But to be quite honest, it was the truth. It was the truth. And I know the truth hurts, because you told me about Karen. You didn't have to tell me about Karen. You saw my reaction because I never, ever, ever in all of my time with you thought that you would be unfaithful to me. Never. Because I was 100% faithful to you. And it never crossed my mind that you would do that to me. And you saw the reaction I had. You saw how much that confession hurt me. And I do not know if you recorded my screaming in the middle of the room in Las Vegas. I don't know if you recorded that and you know, thought it was good to record it. I don't know if that's what you did. But I do know that Gina told me that you did record me having a meltdown at some stage, whether that was then or whether that was in the kitchen at Bradley Cottage when I was crying on the floor because you took a rage. To be honest, I don't care anymore. And whatever you want to do, Paul, it's your choice and it's your decision. I'm just sitting here because that's the advice I've been given, and it's the only advice I've been given, other than to come to an amicable, right? Friendly, negotiated outcome. But none of anything that you've said since the promises that I had has been anywhere near what I can accept. So that's the problem. You thinking that you can, I don't know, was it? Threaten me with leaving with nothing is going to make me accept something that's less than what you've already offered. Well, it's not going to happen. So if I have to stand up and have my day in court, well, that's what will happen. But I didn't want that. I didn't want court. You know? I didn't even want to do the gender violence thing. So, you know, everything that's happened has happened because of your decisions. And I have suffered some consequences of those decisions, plus because of some actions that I took. Basically, I wrote a GoFund page, and I did share it privately, and I didn't share it on public, and one friend decided to share that on public, and you saw it and you took offense. One thing, right? The second thing, I was prepared for the visit. I was thinking, okay, these people are going to view, let's clean the house, let's do this, right? Prepared for that. But then you have to send me an email. I'm disappointed to note. And they copied in, this is what I expect from you, Lorraine. Copied to the Blue Med agent. Well, to be honest, because of the situation that I was in, because I hadn't had any legal advice, because I did not know how I was going to even survive. Yeah? I was triggered. It's simple. I was actually triggered by the email and what you had written there. And I thought, oh, I'm losing my marbles. I can't cope with this anymore. So I reached out to get some help, and I reached out to the yoga teacher. And Lisa, who is the yoga teacher, she phoned Blue Med on my behalf. She spoke to the Blue Med agents, not me. It was Lisa. I never said to Lisa to say what she did. I was crying. I was upset. I was in, I don't know, what can you call it? Not a very good space, to be quite honest. So She phoned Blue Med and told them that anybody who would come to view the property, and she told them my situation, and she said the police would be called. So whatever Blue Med said to you, it wasn't me who phoned them. Yes, I got angry on the phone when I was trying to confirm the time of the visit and the appointment that was already booked, because I'd already took the call from the agent while I was driving, and I'd already put a time in the calendar. You confused things by sending that downtime calendar appointment and thinking that I would accept that you could still put appointments in a downtime diary that we shared when we were together. When we were friends, when we were lovers, yeah, that was fine. But when we'd separated and when you no longer were in control of what my life should be, then I didn't like the idea of you popping a little entry into my calendar and thinking it was okay. So that got deleted. So just to let you know, that was the situation, and it wasn't my doing. So of all the things that happened after that, one thing after another thing, and the gender violence case, and me not getting any support after the gender violence case, because I thought, right, okay, well, it got heard in October. I walked away from that and I thought that was the end of it. I honestly thought that was the finish of it, because they couldn't do anything. They didn't give us a distance order from you, and that was it, because they said it was just a verbal abuse. But I know that it wasn't just one verbal abuse, was it, Paul? No, it wasn't. I mean, what was all that about? Telling us about Karen, that was emotional abuse. You could see by my reaction of how I felt about that, the panic attacks. Following that, how I tried to win you back, how I tried to forgive you for 7 whole months while you carried on the affair. And then after you've left, I actually get in touch with Karen, because I had a phone number all the time. From the time that I hacked the laptop, I had that phone number. I have an address in Sheffield, and you know that. But I didn't make contact with the woman, even though you said that we might be friends because you thought that we wouldn't get on. But I mean, thinking, nowhere on this earth would you want to make a friendship with a woman who has been a bit on the side while I was the main part of the relationship, because I was the one who was spending birthdays with you. I was the one that was having all the holidays with you. You know, I was the one that was